Hello and welcome back to a brand new Player 2 Plays. My name is Paul James and today we are playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Nintendo Switch. Now we are playing it with the controller today, but obviously you can play this game in handheld mode. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is a port of the original game on the Wii U, a game that was critically underplayed because essentially the Wii U sucked. So it's getting some new life on the Switch and the 3DS. Not to be forgotten is the fact that there's a 3DS version. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the game. Now I'm a little bit like I'm several chapters in already with this port, but I'm going to pick it up here. There's a few different sorts of levels that I want to show you throughout our time. And some of the different features and sort of the way the game plays. So we'll jump into Shy Guy Heights. You can see that I've not done everything in this level. You can see that I haven't ticked off the didn't get seen by any Shy Guys objective there. And we'll talk about some of the different things you can do with this game. So let's jump into it. Now, one of the important things to note is that in the absence of any in the absence of a touchpad like the Wii U had, when I'm playing with the controller, I have to use some of the gyro from the controller in order to interact with some things. You can see how I've kind of frozen him in place. It's not necessarily an essential thing, but there's some aspects of the way you interact with the game that require you to use that little cursor, so gyro is the way you're going to have to do it with the control there, and this is probably the one weakness of this port. But anyway, we'll get back to that when the need arises. Captain Toad can't jump. It's a puzzle game at its core. You can't really do too much at all, to be honest. And it's actually modelled off, or originates from Super Mario 3D World, which came out on the Wii U, and was actually really well received back in its day. And this aspect of the game was also really well received. Let's try and tick off this not get spotted by the Shy Guys thing at the same time, and I'll just take them all out to play it safe. Now what you're looking to try and do, and this obviously, like I said, this is a level I've already visited, but you saw that little crystal I got before. There's 3 crystals that you want to get in each level. You can see again that I've already collected all 3 here. You've got some coins to collect, but you're navigating your way through the world. And there's little puzzles within the larger puzzle that you're trying to complete. Collect the 3 gems. Kind of manipulate this a little bit to collect some money. Oh, too far. There we go. And at the end of the day, you want to reach the end of the level where you can collect a star. Oh, no, down you go. I want to take out this guy at the bottom first. Now, the key thing to the game is the way you're manipulating the camera to be able to look around the environment and see what there is and use all of that to your advantage. I'm going to wait for this little Shy Guy to come out across the pathway here and throw it in his face, and use those kind of camera angles to uncover little sneaky surprises. Like you can see that gem there. Here he comes. Now the objective did say don't be spotted by the Shy Guys, so these little birds don't matter. There's our second crystal. might just wait for these two to continue on their way. Right, that's them done. He's already taken out, so there's nothing to worry about around here, so we'll get that little crystal with no fuss. Captain Toad can only take 2 hits before he's dead and you need to restart. I think I might just wait for him to walk by and then I'll just follow them around. Risk taker, let's get him. Right, cool. I'm going to get that little extra objective, and there's our star. And we've completed the level and we can move on. Some levels require you to kind of replay them multiple times because it may not be possible to actually tick off the objective and still complete the level by collecting all the gems. So you might then need to repeat it to tick off that box. You can also, and by pressing ZR, and you can see a little prompt in the bottom right corner there, there's a little pixelated toad here. This is something that's been added to this new version of the game, where there's essentially a little toad hidden somewhere within the world, and this is just an additional objective, essentially. It's where's Wally, more than anything else. He's going to be somewhere within the world here, and all I've got to do is use the gyro to, to click on him, essentially, when I spot him. I have no idea where he is, and I might actually have to start navigating the world a little bit before I can find him. Oh, he might be at the very back. But I don't need to collect any of the gems, I don't need to do anything other than complete the level, so... Still no sign of this little... Though I better be careful, it might be on the other side of like one of the things of the bridge that I was manipulating before. So let's get up there and rotate that bridge around just in case. Hold it up. So he's not there, he's not there. No, that's alright. Alright, so he's not on the bridge. Past these birds. Oh, there's my first hit. That was... Oh, jeez. There he is. And there's nothing more to it than that. And no great reward either, just recognition. But anyway, we'll move on to the next level. And the puzzles are quite different from level to level. It's rare that you're kind of going through the exact same hoops over and over again. They give you the same tools, but what you're doing with those tools are different every single time. I might just walk across here first. See what's down below. Some coins and a crystal, or a gem, or whatever they are, I can't remember. We'll keep moving along. Captain Toad is one of the games that I would very, very much like to see get a sequel on the Switch. I think this franchise has got a lot of potential, and it's very family friendly as well. So it's accessible to a lot of people. There's the second one. Again, I've obviously already got these, but we'll kind of work through these together. There's a little passageway there. Now, because I already had them, I don't know if I've actually got all 3 gem crystals or not. There it is. So yeah, some some extra objectives require you to complete a level in use X number of rotations or manipulate the environment this many times. And the consequence of that is if you're trying to get all the gems as well, then often you can't tick off the extra objective as well because you need to move the environment more times than is required to collect all the gems. So instantly you have to go back and repeat a level. Minecraft Tunnel Throwdown. So we can see a little gem there. This throws you into first person. You turn around and you're starting to toss turnips. There we go. Oh, got him. Get those coins. There we go. And that will end the level. So they're not always necessarily long. They can be if you're trying to collect and do everything. But we collected all the gems there. We killed off all the little little ladybug things. We got an extra life there. We collected 103 coins. We got the star. We did more or less everything you can do in that level, and it took no more than probably 3 or 4 minutes. And yep, and there we go. We ticked off the extra objective, and we'll get the little toad to find as well. But we're not going to worry about that. We'll complete 2 more levels today. The next one is one of the cooler missions in the early part of the game. Requires a little bit of thought. Alright. Need to create... Oh, but first you can see the little crystal in the doorway there, so I'll wander over and I'll get that. There we go. There we are. We'll let that fire and then we'll run over and quickly rotate. See if we can't take out these birds at the same time because they're annoying. 2. Don't know that I'll be able to get this one. Yeah. Then we'll rotate it around, we'll take out this, and then we'll keep rotating and trek on past to go get the crystal. There we go, we'll keep going. So now I can walk up. Ah, now I shouldn't have taken out those birds because... Oh, no, I can use the thing to do it. Great. Because what I was banking on there was the birds to come after me, hit the blocks, and take themselves out. But... Cool. Take these out first. Oh, too far. Got it. Oh no. I nearly took myself out. Let's just set that way for a minute while we wander across. This would be the last crystal for this particular level. So now it's just a matter of getting to the end. So we'll manipulate this again. There we go. Walk through. Turn everything upside down. And there's the star. collect all the coins on the way, of course, because we want to get some extra lives. There we go. And there was a gold mushroom in there that I didn't find. So there's still more reasons to go back and visit these levels, as well as our little pixelated toad that we can find. But this is the first of the bosses in the game. Now again, as you can see, I've already done it. And this was one of the ones that was advertised, I think, in the promotion for the Wii U game before it came out. I can't say I saw as much of it in the lead up to the port's release, but this is one of the cooler levels in the game. And really, it just requires a bit of patience. So I'll try and quickly squeeze through there. Let's grab that and then duck behind the wall. It's always important to keep monitoring what you're doing with the camera, because you can very easily kind of leave yourself behind, more or less. Get these crystals as if I hadn't already got them. There we go. Let's just duck on there. Pop up, follow this along. Continue to trek up. We're nearly there now. Catch up to that before he gets us, that's fine. You can see the star up the top there, so we're getting really close. And an extra hazard starts to emerge here, where there's little bits of kind of falling volcano, essentially, that require you to suddenly time everything a lot better. Because you can't progress past the lava, but he's also going to fire fireballs at you. And there we go. We're on our way up, and this will finish off our first little sub-boss within the game. The whole thing collapses, lands on his head, knocks him out. Alright, so that is our latest Player 2 plays there for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Oh, we've unlocked a special level here. May as well quickly show you that then. And then we'll wrap this up. So there's some opportunities to kind of bank some lives. Again, this is a game that's really geared first and foremost for children. You've probably noticed so far that the puzzles themselves aren't extremely difficult. But for us adults. But for those a little bit younger, it may be a little bit tougher, and so they might need a little bit more support. And so you get plenty of opportunities such as this to rack up coins, and consequently extra lives. Very quick fire, very simple, but gives them a few extra lives up their sleeve to mess around with and avoid them seeing that game over screen more than they'd like. You can see at the top there that two-player mode is available. That's how I initially played the Wii U version of the game. But that is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, consider picking it up. It is now available for the Nintendo Switch at a cheaper retail price than most games, simply because this support of an older game that, if I recall, wasn't full price to start off with, because I think of its nature. But consider picking it up. I vouch quite a lot for this game. Very accessible for anyone of any age. It's really kind of cute and endearing. But also, as you get to the back end of the game, it can be quite challenging. So it's good for everyone. You might just have to kind of push through those early. If you're an adult and you're finding it quite easy, and what you've seen here has been quite easy, you might have to push through that a little bit to get to some of the challenge near the end. But there's challenge to be found here in this game, so consider picking it up. If you enjoyed this episode though, please make sure to like, share and subscribe. All those buttons are down below here, and that'll allow you to get access to weekly episodes of Patched, the Late Game Review, The Insider, Player 2 Plays, and a whole lot more. There's some awesome content there, so please make sure to go and check it out. For written content, make sure to visit the website, player2.net.au, where you'll find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, the Player 2 Writer's Draft, and heaps more. There's some awesome stuff there, so please make sure to go and check it out. We've got some awesomely talented people there writing for Player 2, so please check out their work. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, and consider kicking in a few dollars. At the lower tiers, you'll get early access to a whole range of episodes, including this and The Insider and Patched. And at the top tiers, you'll join us in the monthly Player 2 podcast and get exclusive episodes of Patched or The Insider. For rolling updates, you can find me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter. The website, you can find at Player2au on Twitter. And until next time, that was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Cheers.